Some of you listening, you might actually could restore your marriage if you really wanted to. Now, let's look at some red flags for some bigger problems. If things get worse rather than better after the first couple months of divorce, right? It may be a sign that your child is stuck in depression, anxiety, or anger and could use some additional support. Watch for these warning signs related to depression or anxiety in kids. Sleep problems, poor concentration, trouble in school, drug or alcohol abuse, self-injury, cutting, eating disorders, frequently anger or violent outbursts, withdrawal from loved ones, disinterest in loved activities. Discuss these or other divorce-related warning signs with your child's doctor, teacher, pastor. Consult a child therapist for guidance with coping with any of these specific problems. We're going to talk a little bit more about some co-parenting, but we're going to deep dive later. But after a divorce, we want to have good co-parenting strategies that promote stability and consistency in your child's life. More later. Don't forget, the next episode is going to be really deep diving, but you need to build a united front with your ex-partner. It can make the world of difference for your kids. Establish effective co-parenting rules post-divorce. It's crucial for your child's well-being and to create this stable environment we're talking about. It involves open communication, mutual respect, flexibility, and the focus of your child's needs above all else, all the other things that are going on. If both parents don't have the same voices to their kids, and let's be honest, once communication breaks down between a husband and a wife, once the pillow talk and the breakfast talk is gone and it's over, being in lockstep is almost impossible. As each person gets more and more influencers in their lives, people double down on reacting to situations and arguments. One voice quickly becomes 2, 4, or 6, and the child's the one who pays the price. All right, we're going back to the beginning. Our job as parents, we pray and we provide stability. Not think that we're a great parent and not succumb to the narrative that your ex is the bad parent. We give good advice and we navigate open channels of communication. Work with your ex. Conflicts between parents can be very damaging for kids. It's crucial to avoid putting your children in the middle of your fights, making them feel like they have to choose between one or the other. Now, the following tips can save your kid from a lot of heartache, right? Take your arguments somewhere else. Never argue in front of your children, whether it's in person or over the phone. Ask your ex to talk another time. Drop the conversation altogether. Use tact. Refrain from talking with your children about the detail of the other parent's behavior. It's the oldest rule in the book. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Be nice, be polite with your interactions with your ex-spouse. This not only sets a good example for your kids, but it also encourages your ex maybe to be gracious in their response. Look on the bright side. Choose to focus on the strength of all family members. Encourage children to do the same. Work on it. Make it a priority to develop a healthy relationship with your ex-spouse as soon as possible. Watching you be friendly can reassure children and teach them problem-solving skills as well. Now, I want to finish with this. Let's look at this from your kids' eyes for a moment. What do your children really want? Well, how about I put this into their voice? Here's what your child wants from mom and dad after a divorce. I need both of you to stay involved in my life. Please call, email, text me, ask me a lot of questions. When you don't stay involved, I feel like I'm not important and that you really don't love me. Please stop fighting and work hard to get along with each other. Try to agree on matters related to me. When you fight about me, I think I did something wrong and I feel guilty. I want to love you both and enjoy the time I spend with each of you. Please support me in the time I spend with you. If you act jealous or upset, I feel like I need to take sides and love one parent more than the other. Please communicate directly with each other so I don't have to send messages back and forth. Please don't make me be the messenger. And when talking about my other parent, please say only kind things or don't say anything at all. When you say mean, unkind things about the other parent, I feel like you're expecting me to take your side. Please remember, I want both of you in my life. I count on my mom and my dad to raise me and to teach me what's important and to help me when I have problems. I encourage you, if you're listening, to take an inventory of your actions and identify and make amends when you have failed, or even more, when you have patterns that violate any of these things. A personal revelation for me, I had a moment and I felt like I need to have a talk with my children. Now, logistics can affect if you have one-on-ones or you need everybody in the room at once. And this can be tricky. Age-appropriate topics can make family conversations off the table. A lot of you have kids of varying age ranges and you have busy schedules. But sometimes in my family, a one-on-one feels like a talk. But a family meeting, well, it implies it's important. Like I need y'all to listen, retain, and react. But I decided to call a spade a spade. I told my kids I was tired and that I was tired of being tired. I didn't like the fact that I was escaping and napping and TV binge watching. I apologize for being weak in certain areas. I apologize for not being a role model well, even though I did great in certain moments. But I was just being real and authentic and trying to be a good communicator. I showed them and told them that life can knock you on your ass and it's okay to stay down for a while, recoup, and crawl your way back up to fight another day. I told them it's okay to cry. It's okay that you don't have your act together. You know, speaking as an American Christian dad, we not only get punched in the gut daily by society, we endure being the butt of plenty of jokes, but we also carry this vague weight of having to be this wise, perfect, mature, confident provider, leader, the rocks for our families, even our churches. It's just not fair, and it's not even realistic. This is why I really despise churches that put their pastors on a pedestal. The idea that men of God have their acts together. You know, we're wise and we walk each step well. Well, look for pastors who are transparent. Look for churches who let them be. Look for men who have been through some stuff in their lives. I'd rather have that man in my trenches than the guy with the clean uniform. Men, it is hard to let your children know that they can depend on their dad, that we will walk through fire for them, but acknowledge that our uniforms have some rips on them and some stains. Okay, now this one's going to hurt, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to call out hypocrisy, and some of you need to hear this. This is going to help you restore your relationships. Are you ready? Many of you listening have been lying to yourself and spreading the lies to your kids. They may not be able to pinpoint it, but they know something does not sit right. You tell them that you love them and that you would do anything for them, but that's not true. God defines love, not you. What does he say it is? Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. How do I know that besides just reading it and memorizing it? I leave it by my sink every day. I see that every day I brush my teeth. Why? Because I needed a lesson myself. That is the definition of true love. Many of you listening are giving your kids or yourself lip service. Your divorce was literally caused by your attempts to put your wants, your needs above your family. Your affairs, your vices, your behaviors, your need to be right. You messed up. Got it. I'll give you that. But when you had the ability to make it right, you didn't fight. You didn't do whatever it takes to save your family. So here, post-divorce, you still aren't making it right. And now you just say, oh, I love you. I'll do anything for you. BS. It's BS. Some of you could be rebuilding bridges. Instead, you're burning them to the ground. Then you're looking the other way. Your kids may not be able to verbalize their frustration, but they are trying to keep it maybe civil with you. But what they want to say is, Mom, Dad, you say you love me and you would do anything for me. Then why do you keep acting so selfish? Why do you put your desires above me, above this family, above your ex-spouse? Why? If this is you, repent. Fix it. I know a guy, he messed up worse than any of you listening. Affairs, drugs, finances, all the things, over and over and over. He burned his family and their finances to the ground. His poor wife and children paid the price. He's divorced, but he finally broke, really broke. Not lip service, no BS. He had to look in the mirror and he acknowledged the warts. What did he do? He parked his butt in front of his old house doorsteps and he served and he served and he served the family that he had messed over. He loved them, not self-seeking, not easily angered, no records of wrong, always protecting, always trusting, always hoping, always persevering. He actually caught his actions up to his lips. He wasn't out living his best life. He wasn't dating. He wasn't dropping by when he was allowed to. He sacrificially was pouring into his family, the one he pissed away. He put them first, finally. Some of you listening, you might actually could restore your marriage if you really wanted to. I'm not here to push you to do that, but for the sake of this episode and our topic about your kids, you have to make your mess right. You know what to do. If you're out on social media living your best life, dating a new person every week, buying yourself all the cool, shiny new stuff, while your kids are adjusting to a life that they didn't ask for, stop it right now. Pour into your kids, maybe even your ex. That relationship may not be salvageable, but loving on your family might include your ex, and that may suck. Guess what? Some of you need to suck it up a little. And so you know, I'm not riding here on my ivory tower. I have failed here plenty. I've knocked it out of the park too. I paid for my ex one time to go to Florida for a cheerleading thing that I couldn't go. And you know why? Not because I'm great. It's because it was best for my daughter. I sucked it up. I walked down the aisle at a wedding together. I didn't even really want to, but guess what? I did it because it was best for my kids. Stop the drama. Step up, dads. Step up, moms. Die to yourself a little. That, or just stop telling your kids you love them. Change the sentence to, hey, sweetheart, you know when I'm not busy living my best life, I'll lean in from time to time to let you know I care about you. You know, but if I really did, I just wouldn't keep kicking this ant bed over and over and over again. Things that make me happy. That's what I like focusing on. Facts. Listen, I'm sorry, but most of you listening hold some responsibility for your marriage failing. I do. You think I was the perfect husband? Wrong. I didn't cherish my wife. It led to a mess. I own that. I failed my wife and I failed my family. But I promise I'm attentive to the ripple effects of my divorce on my kids. And I want to encourage you to do the same. If I hear back from just one of you, it's something I said or written causes you to reevaluate, restore, or make amends, I will consider the effort worth the price. You know, it's like we like to say in East Texas when we evaluate project, is the juice worth the squeeze? I hope so. I sure hope so. So I'm going to recap. Here are some ways to support your child through divorce. Stay involved in your child's life, showing them love. Make time for quality activities together. Work on co-parenting peacefully, sparing your child from feeling responsible for your conflicts. Encourage and support their time with the other parent and extended family. Avoid speaking negatively about the other parent so your child does not feel pressured to take sides. Be honest in explaining the divorce. Simplify the reasons and discuss these upcoming changes in their life. Allow your child to express their feelings, assuring them that they're not to blame for the divorce. And reassure your child that everything's going to be okay. Help them adjust to the new normal. Maintain routines and structure and provide stability amidst all their changes. Prioritize self-care, find healthy ways to cope with the situation, consider joining a support group, and if needed, seek professional help for you, for your child's well-being. Okay, thank you for joining us today on UnYoked. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Together, we can help our children heal and thrive through divorce.